So today I would like to share with you a simple and inexpensive meal that my children love. 3 ways to use pumpkin that hides the taste of pumpkin, because I don't really like pumpkin and I've had 3 pumpkins to use up. 2 things to try when you don't have enough space. Some thoughts on contentment, and I'll also show you what's happening in our house at the moment. So I'm having trouble being motivated today to make a video. Maybe it's the weather outside. It's freezing cold, which is why my curtains are shut and I'm sitting by the fire. I also went out this morning to do grocery shopping. For a long time I have done it online, but just recently, since Lydia's at school, I have tried going out again just to get out more, and because I tend to stay home a lot. So yeah, I have dishes to do and washing to put away and washing to hang out, but I'm going to quickly do this video because otherwise it just won't happen. So one of my children's favourite meals is toad in the hole, and it's a very simple meal. You just have to remember to make the batter half an hour before you need to use it, because it needs to sit for half an hour. Gonna say hello?
Hello.
So today's Wednesday and Lydia's home on Wednesdays, and today we're going to make some pumpkin pancakes. This is another Amish recipe, and it's a good way to use up pumpkin, and I don't really like the taste of pumpkin, and this is one way you can use it that you don't actually taste it, and it's really nice.
Mom.
So the challenge is how to do it without a table. So usually we have our table right there, but my husband has just started renovating the kitchen, which is very exciting, and he took out a whole wall and we made that part over there a dining room. So when he does the kitchen, he'll put in like an island there. So
Mom.
So you put the dry ingredients in a bowl, and then you stick in a blender the milk and the pumpkin, the egg yolks and the melted butter, and then separately you have the egg whites, which you beat, and then you mix it all together. Is that fun, Dad?
Yeah. Yeah. We're done.
You done?
Yeah.
Good, you mix it all together. What are you doing? Making pancakes?
Mom.
What?
Oh,
yummy.
Let me get bend it.
So this is our kitchen area at the moment. We used to have the table in there, and we also used to have a wall and a desk area here. So my husband took that out and strengthened it there, and here, yeah, he'll finish it off at some time and finish the flooring off. On Saturday he opened up the floor and had a look. So for now he's just put these flooring boards over top, but he's going to finish that off when he gets the time. So anyway, we took away this desk. This desk was one that if you pulled on it, it would fall apart. So we're just throwing the desk away. So I needed, maybe we'll get another desk at some point, but I needed to find a place to put all the stuff that was on there. So my 2 thoughts about if you don't have enough space. So I had like a printer. I had a little set of drawers that had papers and paper clips and things like that. And there's our computer as well. So first of all, the first thing is to try to get rid of anything you possibly can. So I went through the drawers and tried to get rid of anything that I didn't absolutely need, because I'd rather have space over lots of stuff. And then and the second thing is to make better use of the space you already have. So I looked around at the drawers I already had and tried to move things around a bit so that I could fit some of those things that went on the desk in the other drawers, like the drawers in our bedroom. So there was most of my clothes I hang up, but some of them I still had in a drawer, so I hung those clothes up and was able to put some of the stuff from the drawers on the desk into those drawers. So at the moment we are getting a new kitchen. Johan has started renovating our kitchen. So if you've ever been to my house, you know that it needs a new one. We don't have proper liner or anything on the floor, we just have flooring, and the kitchen is very old. So yeah, that's what we've had ever since we've been married. The rest of the house Johan did up before he got married. So yeah, he's taken out a wall, and right here by the fire we've made this area like a dining room. And so I'm very excited to get a new kitchen, as it's something we've been thinking of doing for a long time, and I've had to wait a long time. But I've just been thinking about this week, what really makes me happy about getting a new kitchen is the fact that it doesn't really bother me anymore whether I get a new kitchen or not. Like, there have been times that I've felt very discontent about my kitchen because it's so old, and you see other people's nice new kitchens, and there are times that I've felt very discontent. And yet I realize that I've actually come to love my kitchen the way it is. I've accepted the way it is, and yeah, I'm happy with the way it is. And I've been trying to think, like, how did I get to being happy with it the way I was? I think there are two things that maybe helped. One was when Lydia was born 5.5 years ago. In her first year we were in hospital a lot, so there was a lot of time that I couldn't even be at home, like months. And so I think that made me appreciate my home more. And also a couple of years ago when we brought the little haven, which I shared about in the video what I do on Fridays, then we thought we were going to lose the house because the bank wouldn't loan us any money, so we thought we had to sell our house. And so yeah, if you think that you're going to lose your house, that makes you appreciate it a whole lot more. So what makes me the happiest about getting a new kitchen is the fact that I don't mind whether I get a new kitchen or not, that I have learned to be content with the way it is. So I've been thinking a lot about contentment, and I definitely need to grow a lot in that area. So I'm just going to share a few quotes about contentment, and then a few ways that I've been thinking of to cultivate contentment. So one quote is, if I'm not content with what I have, I probably wouldn't be content with what I want. So if I'm not content with the kitchen I have, I probably wouldn't be content with a new kitchen. Another one is, discontentment doesn't improve my situation. It only robs me of my joy. So being discontent about my kitchen didn't change a thing, it only made me unhappy. Whereas if we're content with what we have, yeah, we will be happy. Another one is, comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm pretty sure the times that I felt really discontent about my kitchen is when I've been looking at other people's. Another one is, contentment is a state of mind that rests upon trust in God. A state of contentment ultimately arises from the belief that God is always right. A few days ago I was talking to my husband. He'd been to a men's Bible study, and they'd been talking about, I think like about money and wealth. And he said to me, doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. And I didn't really know where he was going with the question, so I didn't know what to say. But he said, it doesn't really matter how much you have, it's how content you are. And of course you want to have enough of everything, but it is true, you can have a lot and not be happy, not be content with it. You can have a little and yet you could be happy and content. So it's not so much how much you have, it's how content you are with what you have. I heard a story the other day of a cook who worked for a house or a family, and the owner of the house heard her say, if only I had $100, then I would be satisfied and happy. And he thought, wow, she's been working hard, so I could surprise her and give her $100. And so he gave her $100. And what he overheard her say afterwards was, why didn't I ask for $500? So, which I think we can all relate to that story, because often the more we get, the more we want. So anyway, some ideas on how to cultivate contentment, which these are all biblical. I've got them from different verses in the Bible, but the first one is to be content or thankful for what you have. So to count the things that you do have and think about them and enjoy them. Like sometimes when we get something we want, we nearly forget about it and we start thinking about the next thing we want, which I think with children it's often like that for their birthday. It's just about Esther's birthday in a couple of weeks, and all she can think about at the moment is her birthday and what she's going to get and what she's going to do. And so this morning at the breakfast table, I got each one of my children to think about something they already have that they're thankful for. Because often they really, really, want something and can't wait to get it, and then when they get it, they don't even always want it anymore. They just think about the next thing that they want. So to be thankful and content with what you have. Second one is to be thankful in all things. 1 Thessalonians 5:18, verse 18 says, "In everything give thanks," and there's always something to be thankful for. Number 3 is don't compare yourself to others or compare yourself to those. Don't compare yourself to others who have more, or compare yourselves to those who have less, if that makes sense. So be thankful for who God made you and be the best you that you can be. So yeah, instead of comparing yourself to people with more, compare yourself to people with less, because there are a lot of people who have much less than us and would love to have what we have. There are a lot of people who would love to have a kitchen like mine. And also, other people most likely have things you wouldn't want. So you might compare yourself to somebody who has something more than you, and yet they might have other troubles that you wouldn't want. Number 4 is to control your thoughts. Philippians 4 verse 8 talks about what to think about. So what sort of things are true, what sort of things are lovely, and all those things. And if you think all the time about what you don't have or what you want, then you won't be very happy. But if you think about all that you already do have and all you have to be thankful for, then it'll be a lot easier to be content. Number 5 is take every burden or a need or a depressing thought to God in prayer. So most of these thoughts are out of Philippians chapter 4, where it actually talks about content. I've learned in every state I am therewith to be content. So another verse in that chapter is praying about everything with thanksgiving. So whatever it is that we do need or we do want or that we do find really hard to take, all those things to God in prayer. And number 6 is to accept what you can't change. So some things you can change, like for example with my kitchen, I could change how clean it is or how organized or how decorated it is, but I couldn't make a new kitchen, but you can change what you can and accept what you can't change. There's a quote that says, "In acceptance lieth peace." And one more extra thought while I'm folding the washing. Lydia's found it quite scary, Johan renovating the kitchen, especially when he took out that wall. It made a really loud noise because he had to use like a saw, and she was really scared. Straight away she would start beating her chest, which is the sign for scared, and she would hug herself, and as soon as he would stop, she'd say, "Yay, yay, 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 yay." She was so relieved that it was over. But I think it's a good picture. Like, she doesn't understand what's happening. The other children do understand, and so they're not as scared. But for her, it was as frightening as if it was a tornado or an earthquake or something like that. And I thought it's a good picture. Like, we don't always understand what God's doing in our lives, and sometimes like her, we can feel scared because we don't know what's happening. And yet she doesn't need to be scared because she's not in any danger. And so, just like her, we need to trust God even when things seem frightening and we don't understand, because He knows what He's doing. And He loves and cares for us just like Johan cares for Lydia. One time as he was pulling down some of the roof, I just thought she was standing there watching him, probably thinking, what on earth are you doing pulling down the roof or ripping up the floor? And I thought sometimes our world might seem like the roof is caving in or falling down, and yet we can trust that God knows what He's doing. We can trust His wisdom and His love for us.